Let's call it Mr. Beast. Tell him to be on the pod.
Yeah, he'd
Then
do
we're
that.
good.
He'd do that for sure.
All we gotta
What's his
say,
favorite movie? Mr. Beast. What's your favorite movie? We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Screen Time. I'm your host, Josh Youngbar, and I have my co-host with me, Lucas,
it's a pleasure to be here.
Claudia,
Hey guys.
and Jared.
Hello.
And today we are talking about the One Piece live action, episode 5 and 6. But before we get into that, we are going to talk a little about what we've been watching. And we typically start that out with Anime Corner.
Welcome back to my anime corner. And I haven't watched a single thing of anime all week. So
How dare you?
I know, right? Dishonorable. But Shangri-La Frontier, that anime is going good. My favorite thing about it is because this is the one where it's a VR full immersion anime game where the guy who plays trashy VR games or full dive games is playing like a AAA game basically. And I think my favorite part is it has a lot of like comic, like it plays into like what you and I would do with like a more difficult game, or specifically you with a Souls game, Jared.
Mm-hmm.
Where you find like the exact timing with different things and like where the benefits of doing this here and that there, and like it really actually plays into that, which I find is really cool. And then like, but it also has like a comic book like type of stance. So like when he does like the move, like you'll see it like right in the sky, like when he does it and
That's
stuff.
cool.
Or like when he takes a certain hit, it like says what damage he takes and stuff like that. And it's cool. It's going good so far. Not really sure if it's gonna be great by the end, but it's a cool concept and I'm enjoying it so far. That's
Yeah.
all I've got though.
Cool.
It's pretty
Cool.
pretty lame anime corner this week, but it's all right. We're covering
light on anime, so we're covering anime.
Yeah,
so it's all right.
yeah.
The whole show's about anime almost.
That's right.
Jared,
Oh, and just
Yeah.
if you haven't watched One Piece, the actual anime, just watch at least some of it. It's good. You don't have to watch all 1,000+ episodes.
Well, we
but-
haven't. None of us have watched any of it.
I-
Oh no, actually, I did watch a little bit.
Did you?
Not recently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw it a while back.
Gotcha.
Very little bit.
So you've been watching anything else?
Yes, I got a few things. We're not doing.
That's last.
It's last.
Oh, that's last.
We always
Okay.
that's what we've always done. That.
I couldn't remember the order.
Don't want all the special sections.
Yeah,
out
you're right.
front.
You're right. It's like a sandwich. You gotta. Yeah. All right. So I got 3 TV things and 1 movie I wanted to mention. So TV. I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson. we were a little behind, but Claudia and I watched a little bit more of it. Have you heard of this at all?
I have.
Okay.
I've
Yeah.
not watched it, but I've heard of it.
Okay.
I've heard good things.
Oh yeah, it's great. Yes, it's a sketch comedy show, but just Tim Robinson in particular is just. I mean, well, he's also the king of memes now. Like everyone puts him on everything now.
You sure about that?
Yeah, it's like
You sure about
exactly. Yeah, it like everything you see now is him from that show. Actually, it's all
Yeah.
from that too. But he's great. He was also in a show that was on Comedy Central for 2 seasons called Detroiters that no one watched. But
heard of that too.
it got canceled, which sucks because it was so good. But this is great though, and I think he's going to keep going with it because the 3rd season came out not too long ago. It's on Netflix. It's just great. It's a very specific humor though, so some people hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very specific humor, his kind of thing. Claudia and I were talking about this a little bit before. How it's like, how do we explain it? The type of humor it is. It's kind of like a newer type of humor, I would say. Right?
New
Right.
humor.
It's like if somebody
Little bit Rick and Morty-ish, but not.
right, and it's like if someone were to make a joke but then run with it and take it just way too far.
Okay.
Like
Well, that's
way
been done
too
before,
far.
but I mean, it's like, I guess it's the way he does it too. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
It's,
you should just
it
check
makes
it out.
it literally when you're watching it, it makes you uncomfortable. Like you're cringing.
It's not cringe humor
But it's
though.
like, but it's not like, yeah, but the things that happen and the things that he does, you're like, if this were to happen in real life, you would be like, this is not actually happening. This can't be real.
Okay.
Which plays
Right.
into the name of the show
Right.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great. It's brilliant. And he's starting to be in more things now. Cause I feel like he was kind of not really ever that popular, which sucks because I think he's one of the best as far as like comedy right now. All right. And then I have two things that are old that I wanted to mention that have to pertain to what we're doing on the movie side and also just something that recently happened. But did check out the show Spaced, which is the Edgar Wright show we were talking about.
Oh, okay.
Since we're doing Edgar Wright on the film side, I wanted to check out the show because he did the whole show, and I think it was 1999 or 2000 when it started. But it's cool. I mean, it's very low budget, but it's kind of like we were talking about, like the beginning of Shaun of the Dead, where it's good, kind of like just like people hanging out, talking kind of thing. I think I mentioned about like Kevin Smith type movie,
Yeah.
that kind of feel. It's great, but obviously very British, but it's fun. Actually, it's pretty funny.
Nice.
It's cool. I like it so far. And it still has obviously his type of humor.
Yeah. Cool.
And it's still both of them too. It's still
Simon Pegg and
Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Yep.
Frost, yeah.
There's probably some other people on it from I haven't seen them yet. But then the other thing I wanted to mention, because unfortunately, rest in peace, Matthew Perry.
Right.
I assume a lot of people are going to be watching Friends right now, but I wanted to watch the other thing that I thought he was really great in, which is Studio 60 on the
Yeah.
Sunset Strip.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Yeah. Have you seen it in a while?
Not recently.
Because it's pretty old now. But so I revisited it, and he's so great in it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a good serious actor too, because you think of Chandler and it's like he's great with that kind of like comedic role, and he still does a little bit of Chandler in this too, which I didn't notice before when I watched the show. But it's really cool. Also, it's a Sorkin show.
Yep.
Has a lot of people from the West Wing, because I guess this is the show he did after
Yeah.
West Wing.
maybe.
I want to say. Really cool though. Like I was surprised how
Surprised
much.
it didn't last as long. I mean, it was good.
Yeah, it was only one season. Yeah. But yeah, so I wanted to revisit that just because. I'll probably go back to Friends at some point, but
Yeah. And just while we're talking about that,
Yeah.
like another good movie, The Whole Nine Yards.
yes,
That was a good movie. that he
very
was
good
in.
movie. Yeah, that was.
He's in that.
He is the main character. Yeah,
I still haven't seen it. It's on the list of like those movies.
dude. He's so good in that too. Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in a while. I need to watch
There's
that.
so many in the list that you made me. That's in the list.
Is it?
I believe so.
Okay. I don't remember what I made in that list.
I wonder who directed that. We'll have to see if that's if it's a director we know of or not.
I don't know.
Then just the last thing is a movie I watched that Claudia has already seen, but I just watched. Came out this year. Yeah, it was this year on Netflix, called They Cloned Tyrone.
What?
Dude,
I haven't heard of this.
Oh,
This movie is-
man.
I have.
this movie is awesome. I didn't think it was going to be that good.
It is
honestly.
so funny.
It's really funny, but really cool vibe too. It's definitely I think I was saying to you, Claudia, that they kind of film it like I want to say 70s type of style.
Yeah.
Also, the music is really cool in it. It's got a good mix of like, let's say kind of disco sometimes, but kind of more R&B too. All instrumental. It's part of the score, but really cool. And they call it a sci-fi movie too, but it's not really that. But it's just has to do with the premise of the movie. But yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's John Boyega, Tiana Paris, which is she was from Mad Men. That's why I was trying to figure out where she's from, but she was in Mad Men. Jamie Foxx, and then Kiefer Sutherland. I didn't even know he's in this.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of shows up later, but yeah,
Okay.
really really cool movie.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that.
Yeah,
movie,
it's great.
I've not
And
watched
that's it.
Cool. Well, I'm still watching Lego Masters.
Yeah,
Every
nice.
week.
Every week.
Lucas but then watched a little bit more of
Keep going every week.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait till it's over and then I'll watch it.
watched a little bit more of Lessons in Chemistry, which that's still pretty good. I thought.
I haven't watched any more. Oh yeah, I was wondering how far are
no.
you?
I think 3 episodes in now.
Okay, 3 episodes in. Is it? So
I
it's still good.
like it.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I still like it.
Cool.
And it is the 50s because they did give it a date and something. When I was
Okay.
watching it, I was like, oh yeah, because you remember you were
Nice.
like, I can't remember if it's 50s.
That makes me like it more.
Then
It didn't go off the rails though.
No, not yet. I don't think.
Okay, all right. It's just what I mean. I don't know. Some people just might be hating on it. I don't know.
Yeah. Then watched a bunch of Gen V.
Nice.
Really did enjoy that. I was really liking
Yeah,
that.
I'm loving that show.
Yeah. We might talk a little more about that in 2 weeks.
Next week.
Well, next week. Yeah, next week will be over, but like we'll have the gap episode in 2 weeks.
okay.
Do we want to like? I don't know.
Because
We both
the
know about that.
finale's tonight. So yeah, we could do it. Yeah, whenever.
The finale is tonight.
Mhm.
Yeah, or well tomorrow. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's-
So you're saying I have to marathon a show?
maybe.
Or I'll just be off.
Well, do you? I
off
mean,
one.
have you seen The Boys?
Mm-mm. Man. I haven't even seen The
my
Boys.
goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to watch Gen V without seeing The Boys first. I feel like.
Really?
Yeah, there's I mean there's some things that happen like when they
Well,
talk about like
especially later.
Homelander and stuff
Yeah,
like
you
that
guess
that
you
you
wouldn't
wouldn't
know those
understand,
you wouldn't understand the
until-
But
references
later,
there.
they're tying it more in also though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
and I
there is a
imagine,
little more. Yes, you
Yeah.
probably shouldn't. You probably would want to watch it.
and I think they're going to tie it in with the
Oh.
next season.
Okay. Okay.
The Boys is great.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing.
I would
Yeah.
love to.
Like, I feel
rewatch
like I hear it
actually.
all the time, and like I just still haven't started. Which also just going back to Lego Masters, technically I did start like the episode. I watched like a minute of it, and I was like, I'm going to bed. And so I still haven't watched any of it.
And then Loki season 2. Caught up on that, and it's
Okay.
good.
Is it?
Well,
The
just
first season was so good.
there's I would say there was a little. So I've only been watched 4 episodes. I just caught up, and there's only 6 episodes in the season.
We've seen 3 of them. We did not see the 4th.
Okay,
Yeah.
The 4th is like, ooh,
All right. Cool.
yeah.
I'm excited.
I would say the first episode and the 4th episode are the 9 out of 10 episodes. The
First one
other
was
2
really good.
in the middle are not bad, but they're more like a 7 or 8, right? So episode 2 and 3.
I love that they recreated a whole
that
80s
was cool.
McDonald's.
That was cool, and then of course
was
the
awesome.
Chicago
Yes.
fair, like recreating that too,
Yeah.
was really cool. Like that stuff's cool, but I meant like more. I'm talking about more of the broader story, like
Mhm.
kind of beats and stuff. But like but then that episode 4, and you're just like, and then I'm very very curious what.
I heard it was something big in
Yeah.
in the 4th episode.
Yeah,
Is it like impacting all of Marvel?
I mean possibly. It
'Cause, I
depends
mean-
how they want to spend it, but yeah.
Well, because the first season obviously played heavily into the
Yeah.
whole
Mhm.
hmm
thing. So
I mean, it's some level. It's never going to be the impact that any movie can have because they have to make it so that you can watch a movie and not
Yeah.
have to watch the TV show. So it can never
That's
have
true.
that kind of impact. But yeah, it was good, and it was like
nice. I just hope the movies get better.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
very
been a
low
while
right
since
now.
We've had a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Though the Marvels could have some good.
You think so?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
The first one was good.
You liked Captain Marvel?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
It was fun.
Okay.
And then I liked the
yeah, I didn't, but
well, and I like the what's the show that has the younger girl in it that's like going to be in this.
Miss
Movie.
Marvel?
Yes,
You like that too?
that show was good. Yeah, I like
Really?
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I watched a little bit and I was like, nah.
Oh.
Okay, well then, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, if you like those characters, then yeah, I guess the Marvels would be good. Yeah, I don't know.
Now the other lady from WandaVision,
That's who the other person is. Yeah, it's from
she
WandaVision.
I wouldn't say she was one of the stronger parts of that. So
Yeah,
You know what I thought was a good show? She-Hulk.
yeah. That was your favorite, Lucas?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
I couldn't make it past like the first episode.
Yeah,
I
that
didn't
was
even
not
watch
like-
it. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm just gonna save myself.
Yeah, that was rough.
It's like, why can't they get a Hulk movie / show right? Period.
I don't know.
Claudia loves the Hulk movie for some reason. She's like, she's trying to hide. I know.
Oh, it's so bad. So bad.
You know, Claudia, I think I'm gonna have to take a step back and reevaluate
Thank
who
you, Jared,
you are.
for exposing me like that.
So,
Hey,
I love Edward Norton. Okay,
yeah, me too.
I do.
yeah. I mean,
DNC, it's not a good movie.
GNC.
Okay.
But yeah. So, we
Okay.
got a little sidetracked on other
Yeah.
things, but
That's fine. It was all Marvel.
no.
All Marvel
But yeah, Loki
related.
season 2 is still really,
Yeah,
really liking
it's
it.
awesome.
But yeah. So we need a reality check. Do we need a reality check?
First, I just want to address the public really quick. This has nothing to do with Hulk, but I do stand by my decision. Anyway, I finished Sex Education.
Oh yeah.
So you get something to share.
There we go.
Actually, we watched a little bit more of it. But still not
Here we go.
done. Okay.
I can't articulate how bad the finale was. Okay, there were redeemable qualities of the finale where, really the only thing I liked about the finale is that
Don't spoil it.
Yeah, I haven't watched
finished
it.
oh, that's right. Okay, never mind.
Just
Just horrible. Like I just
didn't like it, yeah.
I just didn't like it.
all right. Well, I'm anticipating getting there to see what I think of
Which
it.
is crazy because you said you were liking the 4th season.
I
Yeah,
was.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
far it's been.
I was.
It's been good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if anybody in this table watched the finale, you would all agree with me. And I just
Oh, you told me about it. I know.
I'll get
I was-
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get there.
yeah, and then we'll talk about it once you get
No,
there.
I was upset when you told me
Yeah.
the finale. Yeah.
Right.
I just
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it. I have to finish season 3 first because I
It's
couldn't get
just
through season 3.
not good.
It was just bad.
Just not
Yeah, I
good.
might just stop because I'm still in season 2. So, and you
Oh,
said
yeah.
season 3 is
Season
bad.
3 so
I'm just gonna-
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
it's
stop.
a little messy.
It has
Yeah.
so many plot holes and it's
It's messy.
like they force too many things to try to appeal to people, and it just
There's some of that in this final season too.
no, I'm talking about with the characters' relationships and stuff. Like I'm
Okay.
talking about like
Sure.
I'm not talking about like political views or anything like that.
Okay.
That entire show.
That's
Never mind.
that's what the show is.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. I mean, it's accurate though. It's what's going on in the world.
Well, yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're not pushing anything except for what actually is going on.
Yeah. No, it's good. That's why it's good.
Yeah, that's why it's good.
Yeah.
But
True.
that's why the 3rd season I think wasn't good. Is because like they're trying to play too much of the characters instead of like
I don't dislike
The
it
world.
for that reason.
what the 4th season.
Yeah. Like the just the finale. Like, how it portrays today's world sort of thing. That's not the reason I don't like it. Just so everybody knows. Like, I just thought the finale was just
Okay.
not good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to talk about it when I get caught up.
Yeah.
We'll spoil it a little bit. Maybe that'll be another thing in 2 weeks.
Sure, yeah.
Just have to have like a mashup.
I'm not good.
Yeah.
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 I might as well just stop it now since you guys said, I'm probably not
Yeah.
going to watch any more of it.
So
So,
I think I'm only like halfway through the 3rd season. I might not even. You guys might just have to go for it.
yeah,
You too. Jared and I can twiddle our thumbs and drink our ghost.
that's right.
So, reality checking? Are we reality checking?
Let's do it.
Checking reality.
All right.
This ain't reality TV!
Welcome back to Reality Check. I'm your host, Claudia, and we are going to start with a good reality show and then get into trash television, okay? So we're going to open up with Survivor. I am going to talk about last week's episode, not the one that just aired yesterday, but not yesterday in this time because this is going to come out later, but whatever. Last week's episode. Not confusing at all.
Where would them be now?
Right.
Soon.
So the three teams.
Just say episode 5 because episode 6 is the one that just came out.
Okay, I'm talking about episode 5. Perfect. Episode 5. At this point, 3 teams are getting mixed up because the Lulu tribe kept losing numbers, right? Because they kept going to tribal council every freaking night. So we have a whole new group of 3 teams. They didn't merge it into 2. They just made a mix up of another 3, right? So we still have the Bello, the Reba, and the Lulu tribe. In this episode, Bello loses the immunity challenge and they end up at tribal council. A lot of the members of the Bello tribe have never been to tribal council except for Emily. So Emily was on the former Lulu tribe. So she's like, gosh, I just can't catch a freaking break. I keep ending up back at tribal council, whatever. On the Bello tribe, there is Drew and Austin, which are a very strong couple right now, and they need to be broken up. If I don't understand how no one else has seen this, but if they continue to go on to the merge, they are going to take over. One of them needs knocked out. Okay.
Like a couple as in
Like they're an alliance, a very strong one, and they have a lot of advantages between the two of them. They have a like extra vote advantage. They have an immunity idol, I'm pretty sure, and like one other advantage. So they've got all these tricks up their sleeves, and if they continue to play together, they're going to make it very far. They need to break down this duo here.
So let me ask you, do you believe that one of them would backstab the other?
Okay, so I'm going to get into that a little bit.
Okay.
Also,
So-
this is why I think you would be good on Survivor, because you always have very good strategies for this kind of thing.
It's always one thing to like, I agree with you. I think I would do pretty well as far as like the social part of the game goes.
Because that's a
that
big
would be my
part
strength for sure. But it's always easy to sit on your couch and dictate like, oh, this is stupid. Why would you do that? I wouldn't do that sort
True.
of thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But you know, I'm a pretty good talker. I'm a saleswoman. I think I could do well. But so there are 2 nerds on this team. There's Brando and there's Drew. Drew and Austin are the duo. Brando and Kendra have a pretty good thing going, and then there's Emily caught in the middle. Okay. Kendra is like this free spirit astrology girl, crystals type character, right? So she's a little out there, eccentric. She is thriving living outside because she's a hippie already. So like she is just like an Energizer bunny walking around, and everybody's like, I'm so tired. She just freaking loves being out there on the beach, and just, you know, she gets a little annoying. And then Brando and Drew connect on their nerd level, and at one point Brando approaches Drew about making an alliance because they're, you know, 2 nerds. They never won Survivor.
Were they talking about Pokemon Go?
They were talking about Pokemon Go for ages. Ages.
Yeah.
So they
Pokemon Go.
right. So they're like, Brando's like, hey Drew, we should be together because nerds don't make it too far in the show, and we should, you know, make history. Drew's like, nah, and like flat out is just like, I don't think that's a good idea. Like just tells him, doesn't like, oh yeah, dude, whatever you want. Because
Playing the long
Drew is so
game.
up Austin's beehole that they're not breaking up that bro code there, right? So when they enter tribal, Brando tries to make this move saying that oh gosh, who were they going to vote out? Brando's trying to vote out Drew. So Brando lies to Drew about voting out Kendra or whatever, and Drew snitches to Kendra, and Brando's like, no, that's what he said about you. It's just this whole mix up, but Brando's plan is just fails miserably because Austin and Drew aren't having it, and Emily's caught in the middle. So they're playing Emily, and Emily's like, I don't know who to believe at this point. And then they get to tribal council, and Emily takes Austin and Drew's side. So if she makes it to the final 3 with Drew and Austin, she's not going to win. I just want you to know. Because if you ride the coattails of 2 very powerful players,
Yep.
no one's going to vote for you. Sorry. So if she were smart, she would break it up. But, you know, and I am liking her more. I freaking didn't like her in the beginning, but she's getting better. Okay. So Brando gets sent home. One of the nerds is gone. So it's just Kendra, Emily, Austin, and Drew in the Bello tribe. So they have 4 people now on their team. And I'm excited to see the newest one. I haven't seen it yet because I'm trying to see how this goes. But it's a lot nicer to watch because it's more of a fair playing field with the...
Because they mixed them all up.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So you really don't know who's going to win these challenges because there really is no weak team at this point. So, yeah. And then let's move on to trash television. I have gotten back into Love Island, okay? Proper fit. And I just wanted to rewatch season 3. Flat out. The only thing I really want to talk about with this, because I mean, there's like 100 episodes of Love Island because they have an
I can't
episode
believe how
every
many episodes.
day.
It's
yeah,
insane.
they air an episode every single
Yeah,
day
it's
throughout the
insane.
week, and then Saturday is like their recap. Like this is what
It's like
happened this
60
week, and then they
episodes a
don't. They have like
season.
an off day on Sunday or something.
Wait, so this is
What?
ongoing at all times?
Yes,
It's crazy.
correct.
And it never ends.
No, it comes
No,
to
it
an
eventually
end.
does.
Oh.
If you are not, so the premise of this show is they bring in
It's
5
UK is the main
women,
one.
5 men in the beginning. The women all stand in a line by the pool, and then they're like, let's bring in the men. And the men come in and they get to choose their girl that they want to couple up with, okay? And then they throw like a spanner in the works, and they're like, oh, we forgot to mention Emily's here. And then she's like hot and she's single, and like all these guys are like, oh my days, you know? And like they're
Very British.
So
Proper fit. innit?
proper
they do
fit.
say that a
Oh,
lot.
she's so fit. Right. So they're they give them like a couple days to get to know each other, and then
Do they
you
call
know
them birds?
connections. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that
Oh,
bird,
yeah.
my bird.
Yeah.
She's a fit bird. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they give them a couple days to kind of like talk and find connections with each other, and the ones that people like, because you're just coupling up on looks at the first point. You don't know anything about this person really. So
We got to go on.
right. So when they bring in another person at the next recoupling, if you are left single, you either are vulnerable or you get sent home. And then they start adding men and women just
Mm-hmm.
throughout the summer. It's like a whole summer show. So like they're there at this villa
Also,
in paradise, and
How crazy would this show be, like production wise and post production? I don't even know how you would do it like that.
There's,
Well, it's trash television, so you don't have to try that hard.
I guess you don't have to really do much.
I mean,
post.
they're just filming throughout the day, just like they would any reality TV show, and then, and maybe they're. I mean, I don't know how fast they're turning them around, because
Yeah, I don't
you
know.
could have you could have it air unless there's
Oh,
a-
you get enough in the can.
yeah, like there's enough
And
like
then-
buffer time
yeah,
that
that's
they
true.
could be taking time editing. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah. But I mean, all you have to do to be on the show is find somebody that you love, and then just tan in your bikini and look hot outside all day. Like it's like a vacation, but then
So at the
I feel
end,
like- I feel
how's
like-
it end? Like, where's it? What's the end goal here?
so the go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, I was like, can you just like pull a girl aside? Cause like if I went, can I pull a girl aside and be like, let's just enjoy our vacation and hang out and chill?
You could, if that's your
Like,
strategy.
or is there like
And she
competition
actually-
or like whatever? Well,
They do little games, don't they?
Okay, so the public actually sometimes gets to intervene on the votes. So a lot of this is like,
okay.
who's your favorite couple? Who do you think's being the most genuine? And some of those votes play out. So if you are
So then
doing
do-
a strategy with a girl, you better make it believable and act.
If they do that, then they do have to turn it around fast.
Yes.
Oh, right, because it's the
Yes.
'Cause they're not-
Social
Yeah,
so they
because
probably
they'll be
have
like-
people editing it, and tonight, like
You can like get the Love Island
turn
app
it around. Yeah.
and vote.
probably every
Crazy.
SD card that comes out goes to an editor. Like,
Well, or just there's like I mean, well, depending on what season it is, but like currently there's the software it's dumping into a cloud as you're
that's
filming
even
it.
better. Yeah.
oh,
It's
that's
loud.
right.
Yeah, and so they could be editing it pretty much on
As it's being filmed.
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my gosh. Be like, that's a good clip.
Yep.
That's a good clip.
Yeah.
Right. So
It's crazy.
So yeah, at the very end, it's like at the end of the game, it's who has been the most like believable couple that they are genuinely in love and you think that they found a connection, and then you get to vote on who you think deserves $50,000 at the end of the game. Because like at the end, there's 3 couples remaining, and then they get voted, and whoever wins, gets that sort of thing. There is a player on this game. I don't know how she got into this because her name is Camilla. And she is like a wife material. She doesn't go out and flaunt in her bikini. She wears very modest clothing. All these other girls walking around in
Yeah, it
thongs and
doesn't
stuff.
sound like-
She's still attractive.
She's
I'm
proper.
saying, but that doesn't sound like
She's still attractive. She's beautiful.
Put me on that show.
And she's
she's proper fit.
Is this current season?
no, this
No,
is
this is an
season
older
3.
season.
She actually, spoiler, sorry. She does
older,
find her
yeah.
husband in this show, and they have kids now. Like they're
Nice.
still together.
Awesome.
Oh,
nice.
Wow.
Right. But she used to date.
You're lost.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Her job is to she's a humanitarian, So she goes to like war zones and she cleans up like mines and stuff so that
Dude.
civilians don't get hurt. That is literally her job.
That
It's
is
the craziest
awesome.
thing. So she's like so smart and intelligent. She's traveled and you know, she's just I'm like, how did they pick you
Yeah.
for this show? Her ex is Prince Harry.
Yo,
Whoa.
Yes. So
where
yeah.
did she come from?
I know. I don't know why she's doing on this show, but she does find her husband, so I'm happy for her. But anyway.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah. But it's just like it's so hilarious to watch because they're you know, they get into these arguments or they just the drama. It's just I watch
Yeah, it's
it
just
so that I can just
drama.
shut my brain off and watch some drama. Like and I just can't get enough of it. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Not
Every
enough drama
guy-
at work.
Every
No.
guy looks exactly the same and dresses exactly the
Well,
same.
yeah, UK men
It's
with their like painted on jeans and baggy shirts
it's
and their loafers. They're like ballerina
with
slippers.
no socks.
With no
Always.
socks. Yeah. Juiced.
Yeah, and they're I don't get it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all.
That's it. All right.
All right. So with that, let's get into our feature presentation. Episodes 5 and 6 of One Piece. Episode 5, Eat at Baratie. Is that how they say it?
Baratier.
Bratier.
Oh yeah,
Bratier.
I didn't know how to pronounce it either.
Bratier. Okay. And then episode 6, The Chef and the Chore Boy. All right. So they're both directed by Tim Southman.
That's right.
A lot of eye candy in these episodes.
For Claudia.
Yeah, that was Claudia the entire time we were watching. The three of us
Yeah.
were watching, and like a new character would come and she'd be like,
I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh. He's not bad to look at either.
Yeah.
Okay. So the basic synopsis: the Straw Hat Pirates face their first adversary as a group. At a floating fish house, Luffy befriends a cook, and Zoro enters a duel with a warlord. And then Sanji and head chef Zeph put their differences aside to save and severely wounded Zoro. A ruthless fisherman on a mission stirs up trouble for the crew. Is the episode 6.
Mhm.
All right, so overall thoughts.
What? Since Claudia wasn't here last week, just a real quick. What'd you think of episode 3 and 4?
Cool. Like part of the story. I really liked I'm going to spoil it. I mean, you guys have already seen, I'm assuming
Yeah.
the last, so I'm just going to do spoilers. I definitely knew the blue stuff was poison, like immediately. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that's
Yeah.
making her sick. She's sick all of a sudden. And I'm like, this guy's not good. They're poisoning her, whatever, for her fortune. We get introduced to, what's his face? He's like all talk and no adventure. Like he's like, oh yeah, I do everything.
Usopp.
Usopp. Yes.
The great Captain Usopp.
Right. We
Yeah.
meet the great Captain Usopp, and he's kind of a silly character. He's probably my least favorite out of all the crew, I would say. But I still like him. Doesn't mean I don't like him. And the
All I'm gonna say, like in relation to Usopp, agreed 100%. If things play out the same that they do in the anime, the second season to this will put Usopp into perspective
Okay.
of who he is,
yeah,
because it's literally the next story arc
good.
that would take place, and so yeah, that'd be
Hopefully
cool. It's
they
right
do that.
before they leave for the Grand Line. That's like basically there's one story arc before they leave for the Grand Line, and then they're in the Grand Line. So that would be the beginning of the show, I assume, and then you'd be a few episodes into the.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's always gonna be, well, for me at least, he's always been my least favorite character. Actually, there's one. No, he's probably my least favorite character.
Okay.
But he's got redeemable qualities for sure.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't dislike the guy.
No.
He's just not my favorite by any means. But it was very like watching it. The last couple episodes is just, I was like, it was one of those like, oh, what's gonna happen? Like I just want, like I want this to come to a conclusion because I'm like freaking out about like the time. It's before it gets to midnight or when it gets to midnight, everything starts happening, and then you really want this girl to thrive and get better, and the whole time I was just very stressed about what was going to happen at the end.
Could you imagine I didn't compile it so that we watched both episodes each time?
That, I know that would
Maybe
that
it
would
would-
have sucked.
and
Yeah,
you had to
suggested.
watch half of that story
Yeah.
and then wait a week,
Or this
No.
next one.
or this one, this
Dude,
is
no.
episode 5 and 6.
Yeah.
And wait at episode 5, wait a week. Then
No, I
watch
was
episode
very,
6.
very stressed out. But I did I liked this part of the story. I thought it was really cool. Kind of sad that Usopp can't be with his girl, but
Yeah.
she's got things to do, so that's cool. And so does he. So
Mm-hmm.
Do you like Kuro?
the
Bad
Edward
guy.
Scissorhands. Yeah, he was
He
a
was
really
awesome.
cool
Yeah.
bad guy. I really liked the concept. I don't like his henchmen. I think they're stupid and I hate them.
Yeah.
But he was really cool. He was cool to see like his power and
hmm
what he can do.
Yeah.
So
Cool. All right, thanks. And
You're
then
welcome.
so
Thank you.
then overall thoughts for these two episodes, the 5 and 6.
All right, so this will be no spoilers for episodes 5 and 6, and then we're going to get deep into it. So make sure you go watch it.
who wants to start? I just finished talking. I don't want to go first.
Okay. Man, I don't think I'll have a lot to say about it. It's just probably the same thing I said last week. I think it just keeps getting better as it goes. And it's still really fun. And these two, we get even more characters. I think I was talking about last week how well they do characters. And we were talking about just anime as a whole. This character's like some of the best, and think live action stuff in general should learn from the way they write characters in anime, because this is just amazing. But yeah, a lot of really really awesome new characters in these two episodes, I thought. And let me think what else. That's it. It's again hard to not, we got done with this. We're like, man, I want to watch the last two. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's great. Yeah, I'm loving it.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing that I'm disappointed about, but completely understand Netflix, is the one fight that would be missing in this story arc, and then also the fact that Arlong had to come to the Bratier at all. So, yeah. But besides that, it was executed well. Just a little sad that it wasn't the same, because the story progression is a little stronger in the anime in this specific
So
section.
yeah, you explain that a little bit, just so like the part that
No,
they added.
Not
In
until we get into spoilers.
Right.
'Cause
Oh,
if
sorry.
we're gonna
Yeah,
explain
yeah.
it, it's
Okay.
going to have to.
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
My bad.
So it's a good 2 episodes, different than what you guys said. Yeah, it was enjoyable. Yeah, I don't want to. We can get into
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's hard. Yeah, there's not
There's-
too
I
much
don't
you
wanna-
can
yeah.
say before
Yeah, I don't-
spoilers.
These are I think my two favorite episodes I've seen so far,
Yeah. Okay.
I would say.
Let's get into the spoilers. So episode 5, we start out with Luffy remembering with his grandfather wanted him to join the Marines when he was a child. It's, interesting scene. Think any thoughts on that? One thing I admit later was thinking about this, and I did not go back and watch it to see, but I was curious, and I was assuming that scene happened before all the other stuff that we saw when he was a kid. Like, assuming the scene with the grandfather was when he was even younger.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Then, but the only way they would like prove it for sure was like if he had the scar or not. And like I wasn't looking for it when we watched the scene,
Right.
and then later on I was thinking about it, and then I'm like, well, I should go back and look at it.
Yeah, that's a good call, because I didn't notice if he had the scar or not in that flashback.
But I assumed it took place earlier.
Yeah.
But so then from there, then we go back to present. And there's them getting away from the Marines, right? And Luffy does the blow up version of himself
Yeah,
and then shoots and bounces the cannonball back,
that was sick.
takes out their mask. Yeah. And his grandfather looks pleased. like kind of
Yeah.
like a little bit
He
proud
was
of
like,
it.
So
good
proud.
job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does he say for that move? Did he have a certain name for
He
that?
doesn't have a name for it yet. No, he just blows up.
It was the
Okay,
first time
I
he
don't
did
remember
it.
he.
Cause
Yeah,
then-
he
yeah,
didn't
'cause
say
he
Didn't
anything.
even know he could do it.
Yeah.
I think Nami was like, "Whoa!" I didn't. He's like, "I didn't know I could do
didn't know
that."
That's
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So then, as the crew is away, they end up in the mist for a little bit, and then they come out of that, and that's when they show it. Barate, is that how you say it? Barate.
Baratier.
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 Baratier. Okay.
Yeah,
Baratier.
there'd be like, I guess was that a hyphen above the I?
Sounds Italian.
Yeah.
Baratier.
Or Australian or something. I
Or
don't know.
French.
Or French, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking someone's there.
Australian? Why did I say Australian?
No, I'd say Baratier is French.
Baratier.
Yeah.
It could be.
Mm-hmm.
So then we're introduced to Sanji and the chef, and they eat a bunch of food and don't pay for it because he leaves it IOUs.
Makes me hungry this episode. I was like,
Yeah.
man, I could eat some food right now.
Dude, yeah.
So
It was
then-
awesome seeing all the shots of the
Yeah, cool
The
shots
food.
of the getting cooked
Mhm.
and making. So then Luffy ends up having to do dishes to pay for their meal.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I like how before he like signed the check or whatever he wrote, he was just like the way he was just like, I got this, guys. Like he was so
Thank you, my
confident.
good sir.
Yep.
That was great.
And of course, Sanji's like, no. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because he was so excited to see what was going to happen.
So then he gets to know Sanji in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, Garp hires a warlord, and we find out what warlords are.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's introduction was ridiculous.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
man.
This was one of the coolest scenes.
He
I thought.
was awesome.
Yeah,
I really like
that
him.
sword was a
Sort of
The
sick.
splitting the ship where he goes,
yeah.
oh, man.
I mean, I don't know what that is. Like you can hit the ground and like it's an earthquake effect all the way down the split a ship, but you know it looked cool.
Yeah.
One Piece is a big verse. There's a lot of stuff.
I had a question. Who was the guy he was facing off against? That had
The
the
purple guy.
The
thing
guy-
over his.
He had like the little cannon.
He had a little
over his
cannon over his shoulder.
I
didn't-
he's such an insignificant character.
Okay.
I
Yeah, don't remember.
not really particularly. know
Oh, they
anything
did
about
show
him.
up the bounty thing.
Yeah,
in
he
front of
showed
him.
up the bounty. I don't remember what
can't
his
remember
name
the
was,
name.
but-
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
no one special.
Just
Yeah.
another pirate.
Mhm.
Okay.
But that guy's intro was sick. Like,
Yes.
it was, and he's
Mihawk.
super,
Yeah.
Mihawk.
super cool guy.
The number one swordsman in the world.
In the world.
In the
yeah.
world.
These are Claudia's two guys in this episode. Is
Yeah.
Sanji and
He was
Mihawk.
doing it for me.
Mm.
Yeah. Even with the facial hair. I dig it.
You like the Sanji, huh?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
do I like Sanji?
All right.
Not normally a blonde girl, but
I was about to say that.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
what's weird. Actually,
Yeah.
3 different characters. Because then now you're even like with Zoro, and I'm like, really?
yeah.
I was surprised.
Yeah. None of
What,
these
little
men
bush
are
head?
my type.
I know. That's why I'm like,
But I like them. Yeah.
Claudia's becoming a weeb. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say that.
Claudia's like, no, I'm resisting.
Yeah.
Resisting becoming a weeb.
You need a reality check.
Facts.
So yeah, and then excuse me. So then we learn a little bit about the 7 warlords and
Yep.
how they were pirates, powerful pirates that made a deal with the government.
The cartel.
Yeah, that was a good comparison with
Mhm.
Claudia, what you said
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then
Thanks.
Mihawk shows up at Barate.
Baratier.
Every time we're going to say
Karate.
that.
Baratier. Mihawk shows up at
Barty.
Barty. Barty. We're just gonna say B.
bar.
The B.
The bar.
The V.
The
Yeah.
BT.
The BT.
There
The
you
BT
go.
lounge.
The BT.
Yeah.
Hey.
And anyway, so Zoro is like awestruck and
Mhm.
just like you were who I've wanted to meet and worship, but like since I was a kid.
I feel like we should back up and talk about like some of the more nuanced things, like
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
like Nami and Zoro playing their drinking game,
Okay.
and what your thoughts were on that, and like possible story progression and different things like that, and not just cover
Okay.
the events.
Well, that's fine. We
The-
can.
the
I mean,
main event.
anything.
Bring
Yeah.
it up.
He's,
Bring it up.
yeah. He's just going.
I'm just going through some
beat by
like,
beat, but yeah.
highlights.
If there's
Well,
anything.
then how do I know when you're gonna jump to the next? You know what I mean?
Then just as soon as I jump, you can be like, "Oh, hey, like we skipped over this
Yeah,
part."
you jump in whenever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
But
so
I'm
let's talk
more-
about the bar scene there with the.
Yeah, but like again, like I feel like I can't be the one that I can ask the question, like, what do you guys think of this? But
Yeah.
like I feel like I shouldn't answer it because I know what happened.
You know too much.
I know too much.
You do know too much.
Ignorance is bliss in a situation like this.
Well, then I mean that's kind of I would say then a little bit why, like it was interesting because they kind of like they set up the thing where later then she says, "Oh yeah, we are friends," when he's like passed out. So it kind of sets that up because he's like doesn't have any friends and blah blah blah. But other than that, like it's like as where we're at right now, it's like just them maybe getting to know each other. And that's
Well,
about it.
I thought it was cool. It was a good scene because they both didn't want to reveal anything about each
Mhm.
other, but then they both ended up basically at the same time almost.
I think it was a good scene. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's when Mihawk shows up, right? He's at the bar.
I think there's a jump in between for something else, but yeah. Then Mihawk shows up because we're hearing one of Usopp's great stories, specifically about the Marine
Oh.
fight,
Right.
and he's bragging about it, and of course then Mihawk's like, well, what is the deal with this? And he's like, and you're the captain. And he's like, well, not actually, not technically. The real captain is Straw Hat Luffy, Monkey D. Luffy. And then that's what Mihawk's like, really?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to meet this captain. He's like, man, you
Okay.
could meet the whole crew.
Follow
me.
Yeah.
And this is where we get to Zoro getting a little excited,
Yeah.
Yes.
and then switches back to his mission and his purpose.
Mm-hmm. Beside that, like they definitely in this show gloss over the fact that like everyone's supposedly traveling around on water, but then like somehow they get around very quickly. It seems like.
Mm.
Yeah, like you're like all of a sudden they're here and there and
It's
yeah.
that was a lot in Game of Thrones too.
Yeah.
It was like people
True.
like almost fast traveling. Like
Mhm.
they're
Yes,
like, oh,
yes.
these people are now already here.
True. But yeah, I just thought yeah.
Well, Lucas is looking in a way where maybe it's explained later, so maybe we'll get an answer for it eventually.
Okay.
I'm just gonna tell you because I feel like it was so far into the anime that you find this out, or maybe it's in the. They might just not have made it, dude. Mihawk's boat is like a jet.
Sick,
He sticks his sword on the back, and it looks like a giant cross,
nice.
and it's just like this jet fueled. Like it's so sick. That's how he got around so fast.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Other
Just
people
speedboat.
might just happen to be in the area or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he has like a jet. I'm gonna pull up a picture of it, but go ahead.
All right. So, well, I mean, that just kind of. So then Zoro insists on
A duel.
a duel with Mihawk
Because he wants to be the
the
greatest
death.
swordsman.
because he's like, my goal was to be the greatest swordsman in the world, and you are so I need to defeat you to become the greatest swordsman in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool. I mean, it was a cool fight. It was a cool fight. Like it was short, but it was, but also, like I'm watching this, I'm like, how the heck is this gonna play out?
I know.
I know.
I was like, really, like, how is he going to?
That's cool.
And it's got like this giant fuel thing on the back
Mm,
that just launches it through the air.
cool.
And that's why the sail's always up. The sail's just for,
For looks.
not going fast.
Yeah.
For when you need to slow down.
Wants to cruise.
But yeah, I was like, how's he gonna make it out of this? Because
Yeah.
it was like I knew Zoro was not gonna win
Right.
because I knew it was too soon for him to be like,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
so you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
But
you're
also you're like,
But you're
he's
also
not
not
gonna
gonna
die.
kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
so then,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that's like how
Didn't
they
make it hurt any less.
But yeah, so but I mean, but it was, I think it was cool the way it played out with the you know, him just injuring him, saying, hey, you know, you actually are decent, and not many people I even come across that are even that good.
Respect.
So I
Yeah.
respect you enough to not kill you.
And come find me when you're good
Yeah.
enough.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh yeah.
and then
that was
also
cool.
he kind of liked Luffy enough to be like, you know what,
I wanna
like
see
I
how-
like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I'm digging this vibe.
Mhm.
You know, I'm gonna leave you guys alone. I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
don't care what
I want to see how this
I
pans
don't
out.
care what the Marines said.
Yeah. Yep.
So what do you think of his sword? The one he uses originally to fight.
Oh, the little guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Little cross.
Which was the cross from
Yep.
his like
His necklace.
Yeah.
necklace.
Dude, that part is so sick. I like.
I was wondering
Check
how.
out the
Is
finesse.
that from the anime? Or
Oh yeah. Oh
okay.
yeah. No, he does not use his. He's like you don't in the same line.
Yeah.
You don't hunt a rabbit with a cannon.
I was wondering how they're, which they did it as best they could, but it's like, how are they going to do this fight and not make it look silly with like this tiny little thing? But
That's
it was
that's
cool.
almost spot on how it is. In that like he just
Nice.
he's just. It reminds me of the scene from the B movie where.
Oh
it's
yes.
It's like the
His little stinger.
You know, and he's
Yeah.
fighting with the
Oh
safety
my
pin.
gosh.
or not safety pin, the tack.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
Shout out B movie. I haven't seen that. In a long
Seinfeld
time.
again?
Man.
That's
so
right.
good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
no,
many
it's-
memes.
Yep.
I mean, he should have done another movie like that. Like not necessarily
Maybe he
a sequel to B.
There's still
movie,
time.
Yeah. But I feel like
Still time.
I'm trying to remember how far in like the time skip is, and like if Netflix will ever get to it, because
Mhm.
like there's so many cool things in the time skip that like I'd like to share, but I don't know if it should be included.
I'm just right now. I'm just glad that they're even, because Netflix cancels so much stuff. That I'm
Yes.
just glad that they're at least doing
I
season
agree.
2, and I hope they'll keep it going. But yeah,
I'll look in. I'll look because I feel like it's far deep in there.
so one thing, it's just I understand why a lot of shows do this, but it's still like, I don't know why this happens, but like you were talking about with like Zorro, like they end the episode on him like, oh, he's dead, and they do that. You know, a lot of shows do that. We just saw that in Ahsoka, where you're like, obviously they're not dead, and then it's like, but that's how they end the episode. I don't know why that's a thing so much. Now, if it's someone really like, you're like, holy crap,
Well-
but like it's obvious characters that you know, like,
okay, so
you know what I mean?
I mean, I get it. And in both cases, actually, Ahsoka and this, like, they use it for a moment for the character to almost shift their purpose, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of, we're bridging the gap. Of course, this is why we're viewing them together, bridging the gap into the next episode. But
Right.
you know, once he finally wakes up, like he's like shifted his purpose a little bit, like not completely, because he still wants to be the best, but he's also like, I am your second mate. That's what we call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a really good
And-
scene.
and
Which,
yeah, which is
we
like,
can get-
it's, we're kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but I think it's important to talk to your point. So it's like, you know, they're not dead, but they also use this painful loss, right, for the character to have some growth and redirect their purpose and realize, oh, there's more to this, what I was doing.
No,
More
that's
to-
a great way to put it, because basically the way you're talking, like from those kind of endings, it's like you have to put yourself in the character's perspective, because obviously they think that, I mean, now they have hope, especially Luffy, like he's like, no, he'll be fine, but you know, like they're very worried that he's not going to make it. So yeah, in that aspect, then obviously things change a lot. So yeah.
It's also, I mean, it's the first time we see Luffy doubt himself
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
because
so
of whatever
he
else is
doesn't know
saying.
what the decision to make, because he's like, I don't know what to do.
Mhm.
You know, and that was a good character moment for Luffy too,
Mhm.
to like realize, you know, to be a leader
Mhm.
means to sometimes have to make the tough choice, and you have to make the decision.
Which, to begin all that, Sanji tells us about him and Zeph's backstory,
Yes.
which is one of the best backstories in my
Yeah, that
opinion.
was so good.
It was
Yes.
awesome.
Very well done. Very well done. Yeah, that's technically
Next.
where it
Yeah.
shifts. I mean, you pretty much go from yeah, the beginning of episode 6 is Zora laying there on the table,
Mhm.
and then the what's the chef's name?
Zeph.
Yeah, Zeph.
Mhm.
Yeah, Zeph like coming and putting kind of trying to clean it up and stitch it up, and then putting like
Fish skin.
fish skin on there.
Yellowtail.
Yeah, one of the best parts about that scene is the booze to sterilize the wound. He's like, that'd be a waste of good booze.
Yeah.
He just
Yeah.
takes a big
But yeah, so and then just after they kind of do that, then Sanji kind of starts to share,
Mhm.
and right, and then so we see the backstory there of that and how he met him, and then ends up shipwrecked on a little
We were wondering how like,
island.
yeah.
but we were wondering how
It's
is it like,
how did they get up there?
yeah, how is
Yeah.
it like that? Yeah.
I don't remember it being that way in the anime.
But yeah, it's
But
just a
it's
visual
small
thing.
for an island, but it's sticking up really high.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Not super tall.
and of course, it's it's a very strong emotional moment when you
Mhm.
find out that and I knew like it's one of those things where as he's climbing over and he's like gives up and he's like
Yeah.
going for it, and I'm like, he's not. I was like, I bet he doesn't have any food in there. It's probably like
Yeah.
I didn't think it was all gold. I was like,
Mhm.
but I was like, it's probably not the food. He probably get the kid the food.
Mhm.
But also did not expect to be like, oh, how he's been surviving is he cut his own leg off
Yeah.
and has been eating it.
Claudia called it.
Yeah.
I was.
Oh, you did call.
she-
Yeah, you
she
did
was like-
call
she was
that
like,
one.
That's how he lost his leg. That's
Yeah.
as soon as he starts
Yeah.
calling it,
I didn't
and
put-
I was like,
I didn't make that
I
jump.
looked at it. I was like,
I didn't make that jump, but I definitely
Yeah.
was like, oh, he's just been. But then it was like 60 days or something. Like
Yeah, I was
70.
wondering.
70,
Was it
yeah, whatever.
70?
But like you couldn't survive without eating for that long.
correct.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
had to be eating something. Yeah,
Mhm.
but yeah,
And then
It's
he's
crazy.
like, do you know what it's like to have someone lose a limb for you?
Yeah.
And he's like, actually, yeah, I kind of
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
That
Luffy's
was a
like,
good
yeah, actually,
line.
kind of.
Yeah. I want to point out this is probably because I mentioned before how good the show looks. Like even the CG looks really good for the most part. There was only one shot, and it was in that back story when they're on the island that looked pretty bad and fake.
Mm.
Did you notice that? So when they're on the, like, it was just the two of them standing. They showed like a kind of wider, or like a zoomed out shot of them. When he, after the how many days, 60, 70 days, comes over there and sees them, and they do like this zoom out, and like even the sun, like it's obviously like a
Fake.
light,
Yeah.
and even what they're staying on looks really weird in that one. But it's
Yeah.
only like one shot, but I'm like,
Mhm.
it just was more out of place because everything else has been so good in this show
Right. Yeah.
wise. But so that was surprising. But besides that, I mean, everything
Mhm.
looks great in this, and I like they still do a lot of practical stuff too, which is
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah,
Like the fishmen later, like they're in like a lot of prosthetics.
Mhm.
Yeah,
yeah. So after the story, then we will learn about it. He wants to go to the True Blue. Was that what's called?
The all blue.
All Blue. That's right. Not True Blue. All Blue. The All Blue, where there's vegetables and fruits and things that spices that you've never seen anywhere else or something like
right.
that.
And he kept saying he was like, it doesn't exist, but then
Yeah, but then Zeph tells him, it's real.
Mhm.
Don't give up on your dream.
Which
it's real, all
if
of it.
Any of you guys put that together? Like that's why Zeph like is so mad at him because he's staying at the Bratier.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Okay.
That's why he's mad because he
Yeah.
hasn't gone to do something.
Yeah.
But
I
then
figured
he's
everyone put
staying
that
because
together,
Yes.
he's staying because
a
he's
lot-
like
there's a
cares
lot
about the
more-
guy that saved his life and
Yeah.
doesn't want to leave him there.
It's a lot more clear in the anime.
Okay.
It's very, it's like almost an entire episode that's like that ending part where like they're trying to figure out if he's gonna leave. It's like one
Oh.
whole episode to itself. So
That was another great scene.
Yeah.
Where he's talking off the ship to
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
when they're about to leave.
Emotional.
Yeah, but
Sanji's
let's-
talking to. Oh yeah, we're kind of
we'll
jumping
get there.
ahead
You
again.
get-
Yeah,
go
yeah.
Hey,
Keep jumping around. No, but so we do get a brief back to the Marines, and Kobe learns of Garp and Luffy's true relationship,
mhm.
and then
Was anyone else surprised? I mean, was anyone surprised by the fact that like he's not mad that Kobe is listening in? He just kind of like acknowledges it.
No, I mean
Not really.
because he kind of is starting to like he recognizes that Kobe is like the best cadet,
Right.
and so he's kind
He
of like,
shows favoritism anyway.
yeah,
towards
he's
him,
kind of doing
so
that now anyway.
I figured
So
he'd let him, snoop a little bit.
well, I mean, he knew that he
He's
was there
strong.
anyway, and he was
Right.
just not gonna
Yeah.
basically yell at him for doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we get Arlong show up.
Which this is the part that wouldn't be in the anime. Arlong doesn't come. It's actually just a pirate crew. They just show up, and there's a whole fight, and it's a really cool fight. And Luffy and Luffy and Sanji, and like they do attack the Baratie, like the restaurant originally, and that's why Luffy goes in, and then like Sanji comes to follow, and Usopp's there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like Zeph fights, and he actually like fights for a little bit, and it's not like he just gets taken out right away.
So everything else is the same. It's just
But otherwise, everything
random
else is pretty much
pirates.
the same. Yeah,
Okay.
except for Nami technically doesn't leave, like straight up,
Oh, okay.
like with Arlong, because she left. She left with Arlong. Like she goes away on a boat
Yeah.
and like disappears.
Gotcha. Well, they show up. Like a fight ensues, kind of. They've a little bit just initially with them in the restaurant, but then of course they find out Luffy's there. But we come to find out that they've been tracking them and hearing everything because
Yeah.
because Buggy the Clown's ear was in his hat.
Yeah.
What does he call him? Blippy or something?
Yeah, he says something different this time. I forget what he says.
Which, it's the same in the anime. He messes it up all the time. Like
That's good.
all the way through the anime. Like he never gets it right.
That's
and
so
it
funny.
always annoys him so much.
Mhm.
That is an awesome like plot point though, because I would have never guessed
Which-
just an ear.
I know.
In his hat,
Which
you
which
know.
it happens in the anime, but it doesn't happen for this specifically
Okay.
because Arlong never went to
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cool idea. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh yeah, I have ears and eyes everywhere.
Mhm.
You know, like literally.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so then they end up. There's the fight, and
Sanji's
Luffy
fighting style 6.
Yeah, Sanjay, and then Luffy and Arlong fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Which this is my least favorite part because, and you'll see even later in the next two episodes, because they're gonna fight Arlong. I mean, that's, in the anime, because you never see this part of the fight, like Luffy doesn't have to lose the fight, and so even like in the following episodes, like in the anime, he destroys Arlong. Like I'm saying, like he destroys him, and I'll talk about it a little bit when we actually get to it. But then there's, even when we get to the fight coming up, like there's struggle there and like all this that, and like he has to be smart about the way he fight. No, like in the anime, he destroys him, makes it look easy, and so that part's a little disappointing. But yeah, because you gotta think like Arlong's the king of the East Blue or whatever, right? That's what he's saying. And Luffy's on his way into the Grand Line. So if he's struggling against the guy who's the king of the East Blue, who can't even get in the Grand Line yet, like what's that to say to set it up? And so like in the anime, he's already strong enough to take him out, and he heads off the Grand Line kind of thing. So it's
Yeah.
But that's my only like nitpick of this entire thing. Like is that Luffy was a little too weak against Arlong.
Gotcha. Yeah, it did seem to me because, or I should say, they portrayed Arlong as being really strong,
Right.
Because I was in that fight, I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, is he that much stronger? Because literally the story arc before this, the 2 episodes before this, where Luffy had no problem stopping the Ezra Scissorhand guy, and then like
Kuro?
headbutting him, headbutting him into like out the window and
Oh,
into
yeah.
another,
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
so like, and then of course he was also able to deflect a whole cannonball,
Right.
and then all of a sudden Arlong is like so strong he can't
Bodying
even
him.
like yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
And that was honestly, as a watcher, like not knowing any of the other stuff, like
Right.
that was bothering me. I was like, is Arlong really this strong?
Right.
Nah.
And I was like, that's crazy, because they were, and I was like, and then I mean, okay, man, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it kind of seemed implied that like they're just fish people. They're not like, it's not like from a devil fruit or something, right?
Right. They are just fish people.
Yeah.
They're fishmen.
So like I was like, is this fishermen? Like, are they that strong? Like, I was like,
Right.
this is crazy.
Obviously, a fisherman, it's highly unlikely that they would eat a devil fruit because they live in the sea. But yeah, there's a whole fisherman story arc later on, like in the anime, where they go down to where the fishermen live, like under the water, and there's like a whole method to get how they get there and stuff. And like
That's cool.
Luffy defeats like 100 of them,
Yeah.
like plus, like, and you're like, it's not that much farther into the anime. Yeah, it's whatever.
They definitely have faces for radio, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hard to look at.
Those weren't the ones you liked.
yeah.
No, those weren't the hotties.
They
Yeah,
got- well,
shockingly, no.
You know, the other guys look so hot next to those guys. That's what it is.
That's what it is,
Yeah,
right?
that's what it
was.
It's like that
Yeah.
movie where the guys are looking at those hot girls at the club, and he's like, no.
Yeah, you gotta cover them all up.
Yeah,
look at the,
yeah. He's like,
look
he
at the
takes his
hottest one
hands
and,
like
like-
this, and he look at this one. She becomes ugly, but then next to her ugly friends, she's hot.
Yeah.
And then she'd be.
What movie is
Hey,
that?
that's the thing that happens in real life.
is
You gotta
that
watch
from?
out
Yeah,
for
it
it.
is from something.
Oh
I
my
don't know.
gosh, I can't remember now. Yeah. No, but anyway, no,
but
that
yeah.
was definitely frustrating to watch.
And
I
of
was very
course-
frustrated.
So and then we get the well, so then he's like throwing water on him, which is makes him weak.
Yeah.
And then of course Nami then shows up with the map, and we find out her true betrayal.
Was it ever a betrayal?
What
was
you
it-
mean, like
or
it was
she
her
just a
intention all along?
spy all along?
Well, that was her intention originally, I would say, because
Mm.
she was originally obviously working for, but she's come fond of this crew and
Yeah.
Right.
and likes them as people, and like I said, like I mentioned last week, how I thought it was interesting. It was cool to see when she was sitting with the sick girl, like to see their relation, like her soften, like Nami's like kind of
Cold heart.
like the walls that she has up, and then of course we see that in this episode a little bit with Zoro, and she's like actually I do have a friend and you do have a friend, and so it's good character development, but then she's still really she's doing this to save them,
Right.
Yeah.
like because she knows this, because then even she's like, no, don't bother, because he was about to bite him, right, or something, like the fish
Yeah.
and bite Luffy, and she's like, don't bother, just dump him in the water, and of course
Let the sea do it.
yeah, and that lets Sanji then dive and save him, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like so sick and tired of strong female characters making stupid decisions
Well,
and freaking betraying people that care about them. It just bothers me.
Like
making all
in
of us
Ahsoka?
look bad. Yes, I'm still burned.
well, it's not as bad in the anime because that part doesn't happen.
But again, like I said,
Thanks, guys.
this is this. I would say this is at least done a lot better than what was done in Ahsoka, because
Yes.
Fair.
100%.
because she went into it with already that plan,
Sure.
and then she got to know them,
And then
Yeah.
technically she did it to save
and then in the
everybody.
end she did this to
She's
kind of
just-
to stall, even to kind of be like, oh, I can do this and this can get them away, so that because right now the situation's not good and Luffy's about to die.
Yeah.
So,
It's an
and
easier
Zoro
pill
is-
to swallow with this show than it was.
and
Ahsoka,
Zoro
for
is
sure.
injured at the current moment, so he couldn't have helped.
Fair.
So
Yeah.
they can
Which you
live to fight another day.
kind
It's
of find out is like her personality in general. She always thinks there's a way to save everybody, and that's through like the entirety of One Piece.
Her, she didn't really use it this episode, but her collapsible
Her
stick
pole arm.
or whatever it is, yeah, that thing's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. She uses it a lot in the anime,
yeah.
like all the time.
And
And
you-
we didn't see it at all like since the very beginning, have we?
I don't know.
No, yeah, she only
she
did in
didn't
the
use
first
it at all.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the only
That's
time.
odd. I was gonna say actually I'll get into it at the end.
All right, so then they leave, and then we get
We get that sick dive shot, shirtless.
Oh, well, yeah, already
Oh,
talked
yeah,
about
we
that.
just
I
talked.
know,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that's.
but so you wanted to bring
I
it
just
up
want to bring
again.
it up again. I
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
replay
yeah.
it in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sanji with his shirt off.
Yeah.
But no, then we get the scene where Zeph is like basically mad at him, like being like, you need to go with him, like,
Yep.
and then
Because he comes in to start cleaning up the tables.
cleaning up, and he's like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
So, which is good. So he kind of motivates them to go out
Yeah,
there.
one of the best lines, and honestly, I mean, it's kind of cold, but it is such a great line. He's like, what? You just want me to quit? He said, quitting would be staying here. That line is so good
Yeah.
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 That's right.
because it's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the real goal. The real goal is to find the all blue, and
Mm-hmm. Has been. Always has been.
always has been.
Yeah. So then he decides to join the crew as the cook.
Mm-hmm. And of course, Luffy's excited to have a cook.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
We're all excited.
Also, that reminds me from like actually going back to the beginning of episode 5, Luffy just sniffing out specifically.
The food.
Oh yeah,
Food.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
That was hilarious.
That's how they found it. Yeah.
And I was like,
Smells like soy sauce.
I was talking to Claudia about this a
Butter.
while back. I'm like, are you similar to Luffy? Because you're just like eating all the time
Yeah.
and sleeping and
I'm like,
just
what's that
chilling.
smell?
Yeah.
Mm.
And you're like
Yeah.
specifically picking up on.
Yeah. Like the
So-
aroma in this room right now
Yeah.
coming from the kitchen.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Been thinking
Yeah,
about
me too.
it. Yeah. Thinking about it since it started.
What are you doing up there?
I know.
So he joins the cook, and Zoro, of course, wakes up. What are you looking at me like?
What?
Oh, you just looking at me.
You're talking. What?
And
I know
then-
you look like you were gonna say something. I don't know.
You did, yeah. and then Luffy reveals that he stole Buggy's head. And
Yeah.
they're gonna
Mhm.
use that.
That was awesome.
to track them.
Yes, sir. 'Cause I don't got no navigator.
Mm-hmm. So what did you want to say?
Oh, so it's like 600 episodes in almost that the time skip happens. So Zoro during the time skip ends up training with Mihawk,
Okay.
Sick.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
And there's everyone else they have their moments or whatever. But then just a small side note, the book about the liar that Nami was reading to Zoro.
when he was out.
Oh, what did you guys think of that story?
I don't remember it really.
I mean, it was about the liar, and he lied till the day he died, or whatever. And she says that I don't think that's what you're supposed to take from the story, or whatever, to Luffy. And Luffy's like, well, maybe not. The foreshadowing for that is so sick because, well, one, Nami's been lying,
Right.
but that place, the City of Gold, is 100% real, and they 100% go to it.
Sick.
And it is one of the coolest story arcs in One Piece. And also, I believe that's where Nico Robin joins, because I think she lives up there.
Oh, okay.
I think. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Is
But
it
she gets added to the team around that
This
area.
is we were talking about last week, Claudia, that the other team or other crew, and I think, Josh, you were asking about if there was going to be another
oh, yeah, it's small crew.
female.
He said the next arc we get the other crew member, and I said, if I had to guess, I'd say another female because it's like all
Right.
dudes, and he's like,
The
no,
sausage fest right now.
and he's like, no, it's another guy, and then I said, when was this written? And
Oh, yeah, it was-
yeah. And I was like, oh, no, there's...
and it was
They
like,
come in.
oh, the original this would have been written a long time ago, and then I was like, yeah, okay, that makes more sense then.
Yeah.
But nowadays you'd want to balance it out a little more, but
Yeah,
Sure.
but again, there is another...
and he's like,
female.
later there's other
Yeah.
There's, what, 7 or 8 crew members in total by the end of the... But, like, they all join in the Grand Line, the rest of them. It's not 7, because there's 5 right now? Wait, 4? 5. There's 5 right now, so it's actually 8 or 9. Because they get a musician,
Cool.
they get a doctor, and they get a shipwright. Just like someone that actually knows how to work on the ship. Because right now, Usopp just does like little repairs here and there because he lived in a shipyard.
That's yeah.
nice.
And then they get Nico Robin, the other girl, which I don't think she has any particular,
Skill sets.
like, she has plenty of skill sets, but they're not anything particular like navigating or like
Mhm.
Yeah.
cooking or anything like that.
Overall, let's get another good episode. Like this series is really,
Mm-hmm.
I love this show.
really,
Yeah, it's
really
great.
like going strong. All just really good pacing and the storytelling, all that
Yes.
stuff. It's been really good. We just got our last 2 next week,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll have to wait like probably a year or 2 before
Yeah,
At least
it's gonna
a
be
year,
a while.
probably 2
Yeah.
years, especially with the actor strike.
Yeah, it'll be 2 years. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About to actually watch One Piece, Claudia. All over 1,000
I
episodes.
wouldn't recommend it. But at least there's a good chunk of them that I would watch. If you
Just send me the ones we should watch, and then we'll watch them.
okay, I'll send you the story arcs to watch.
Okay,
Okay,
'Cause,
yeah.
great. We'll do that.
Cool.
you could skip the parts you've already seen once we get through this,
No, I kind of want to
No,
see
yeah,
it.
But I
like
would
to see
recommend
how
watching it.
Yeah.
See
and the whole
differences.
dub's good, so
Great.
you can watch it
Love
in English.
that.
That's right. Yeah, I was asking about
Yeah.
that. Okay, so English dub's good. All right.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Any other thoughts?
Nope.
No.
All right. Then we
Looking forward to next week.
say, same. Again, thank you for watching and listening, and glad. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying these conversations. If you are watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Yeah. Leave a comment
We will reply.
or two.
Or 4.
Yeah, or 5. If you are just listening to the audio, make sure you're following us or subscribing on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and leaving a comment and a review there. You can 5-star it. No 1 stars, no bother. Just 5 stars.
Yep. Keep it moving.
And but you can also leave a comment. At least I know in Apple Podcasts you can comment and give reviews. I guess you probably do on Spotify.
Yeah, I don't know, but I imagine.
Yes, I imagine you can.
I'm sure you can. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you have any thoughts or things you'd like to tell us more privately, anonymously, you can send us an email.
Privately.
DM us.
You can send us an email at feedback@screentimepod.com. And what?
No, you just you need to clear your throat. Your voice dropped
Yeah.
like an octave and a half. It was funny.
Yeah. And then if you'd like to follow us on Instagram, I'm at JYoungBar.
I'm at Lucas Youngbar.
At Claudia Youngbar.
At Jared Youngbar.
And with that, we will talk to you guys next week.